Hi, this is Real Estate Today. My name is Ed Cox, and my co-host is Maria Babicki. We're both real estate agents here in Simsbury. We'd like to welcome you to our show. Today we have a very interesting show, and it came about in a unique way. Maria has been working with a client on a custom home and new construction, and she had the good fortune to get introduced to a company, Bender, in Hartford, and they provided her her and her client great guidance, great customer service. And as soon as that started happening, Maria automatically thought that they would be great guests for the show. And it is our good fortune, and they made themselves available to be here today. Today, the focus will be mostly on bathrooms, but that's not all that Bender does. They do kitchens, and they will tell you what else they're involved with. But today, they provided special guidance and helped them make great selections for their bathrooms in their new construction home and their plumbing needs. So with that in mind, Maria, would you like to introduce our special guests and get the show started?
Sure, I'd love to. Nina Bender from the marketing department and Crystal Mendez from Showroom Sales. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
And as Ed was discussing, the way we met is because I've been working on new construction with a client, and you provide fantastic customer service.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for that. Now, your name recently changed from Bender Plumbing to Supply just to Bender. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. So we were previously originally known as Bender Plumbing Supplies. And then in the 80s, we opened up showrooms when homeowners were starting to make those choices about which fixtures they wanted versus their plumber making it for them. So we had Bender Plumbing Supply, and then we had Bender Showrooms. And then over the years, we started carrying other things besides plumbing supplies. For example, kitchen cabinetry, tile, countertops, and as recently as this year, really much more beautiful tile, artistic tile, and also light fixtures for the entire home. So we decided Bender Plumbing and Bender Showrooms doesn't fit anymore. Let's just be Bender. Just like, for example, Kohler is Kohler, not Kohler Plumbing Supplies, because they sell lots of things. And so we're turning the name into the name, or the last name into the name of the store to encompass all the different types of products we carry.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, the one thing that I did notice in one of the times when we visited your showroom, the one thing that you explained was that there is a parallel between bathroom and kitchen. And a lot of times, if you were just selling bathroom fixtures, they wouldn't translate as much into the kitchen. But now people make total choices. Would that be true?
Yes, especially with like countertops. Like I feel like people start off with the bathroom because it's not such a big scale as the kitchen. So with your countertops, you would bring that into the kitchen and kind of tie everything in together. So that's a way that people can make their homes as one.
People really connect them, and oftentimes if they're doing both the kitchen and the bathroom at once, if they're fortunate enough to say, let's do this whole house project at once, they'll get a countertop surface, maybe it's a slab of marble or a slab of granite, and they'll use the remnant piece from the kitchen countertop, and they'll put that in the bathroom, maybe in a powder room off the kitchen. And so a guest will go from their kitchen, and then they'll go to the bathroom, and they'll say, wow, this is really tied together beautifully because you've got similar surfaces in both spaces. That can be a really lovely way to connect your home into a cohesive design.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you have all of this in your showrooms, and how many showrooms do you have?
Let's go up the 95 corridor and then throughout. So Stamford is just a warehouse. Norwalk is a showroom and a warehouse or a counter. Bridgeport is a showroom and a counter. New Haven is a showroom and a counter. Then we go up to Wallingford. That's just a showroom. Hartford, you guys are showroom and counter. Mm-hmm. Waterbury is a showroom and a counter. And Torrington is just a showroom. So 7 showrooms total.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, nice. Now, you're 4th generation business. Now, what can you give us just a brief history?
Sure. So my brother and I are 4th generation Benders. So my great grandfather, my paternal great grandfather started a New Haven plumbing supply. And this is a pretty cool story, at least I think it's cool. His daughter Alice worked for him, and he had an employee named Jack Bender, and Alice and Jack fell in love, even though I'm sure that was against company policy. And Jack went off to war, World War II, and when he came home, he had access to a lot of war surplus material, and a lot of that was plumbing supplies. And so he started selling plumbing supplies, and that became Bender Plumbing Supply. So it went from Sam Lewin, my great-grandfather, to Jack Bender, who started Bender Plumbing Supply, and his sons, Norman and David, worked for him. David's my father, and now my brother and I, David's kids, work for Bender as well.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It's pretty cool. We're very proud of it.
Yeah. So now I think we should turn our focus to current trends. Okay, so I found out a lot about this. So why don't we start with probably the number one question that we get asked, the finish of faucets and plumbing fixtures.
I think what a lot of people are doing nowadays is they're really into the grays and blues and whites and those clean, crisp colors, if you will. So that goes really nice with like chromes, which is what we're showing here on this rain shower system. So I think that people are leaning more towards that, but it really has to do with color schemes. Brushed nickel is also one of those, which is what that kitchen faucet is down there by Delta. That's also really trendy in terms of finishes in the bathroom and color schemes.
What would you say the number one seller is as far as a finish for you?
I would probably say that it is brushed nickel.
Okay. All right. I would say that's how we usually guide our clients, wouldn't you?
I would say so, yes.
Yeah.
How about, and I'm looking at some things here, are rain head shower, hydrotherapy, things like that, are they becoming popular, or are they already popular?
Yeah, I mean, rain showers is probably the first thing that people ask us if we have in our showroom, and we display it a lot in our showrooms because it is a really trendy thing. People want like a spa-like feel in their home, and so rain shower is a great way to incorporate that, whether it's coming from the ceiling or it can come out of the wall in that way. So I think a lot of people are leaning more towards that.
The one thing I remember from our meeting is that when you have a head like this, it's good to have another option for getting, and why would that be?
Right. I always try to encourage people to also pair your rain shower with a hand shower for the simple fact that that rain head is very delicate. It's meant to feel like rain, which is why they call it a rain shower head. So the hand shower is great. So if you have, if you want to get the soap out of your hair, if you have a lot of hair, that's not necessarily going to do the job, which is why I always encourage people to have hand showers, and not only for that, but to also clean the shower area is very important to have a hand shower.
And then there's companies that recognize people want that big rain shower head, but they're not necessarily going to redo their whole system and add in another handheld. So they're adding a little mechanism in the center of the shower head called an aerator that whooshes around the water really quickly and adds a lot of air to what's coming out of the nozzles, which actually makes you feel like you have a lot more water pressure. And that's what my shower head has, so I don't feel like I need to use the handheld as much for getting conditioner out. I use it for cleaning a lot. It's really helpful for that, and it just adds that spa-like feeling. But there is a balance if you want the trickle-down rain or if you want that big shower head, but it to have the pressure that you want and without using a ton of water. So you can feel good about that. You're not wasting a lot because it's actually 50% air that's coming out.
Okay. What about, do you have to consider, like, as far as the hot water coming out, because it comes out, you would get more volume from that than like your standard shower head, right?
Well, with the rain heads, they actually use the same amount of water as a shower head or a hand shower, which is why it feels more delicate, because you're spreading that water in a bigger area.
Oh, okay.
And so, which is why it feels more delicate. But definitely, if you have more than 2 outlets, you have to obviously speak to your contractor, your plumber, whoever you're working with, if you want body sprays, to make sure that you're not just taking a 2-minute shower and then after you feel cold, you want to have the right water heater to supply all those outlets.
Okay.
Another thing we were discussing just before the show started was soaking tubs. They seem to be more popular now.
Yep, that's also something that's really trendy is the freestanding tubs, and I brought in like a mini display of that. This is a Flare Co tub, and a lot of people are doing this in their homes because it's a really clean look. A lot of people are more into showers now than they are into tubs, and this is just a really neat and creative way to bring the tub aspect into the home.
Yeah, I like the shape of it.
It's beautiful. We use Houzz, the website Houzz, as a great resource for design ideas and helping our clients get inspired. And so often you'll see these soaking tubs, these standalone tubs, where it's just like what Crystal was saying. People are moving away from the shower tub combination and moving towards a shower and a tub separately. And these standalone tubs really add that spa-like atmosphere.
How does the water enter the tub? You have a freestanding sort of there
Filler.
we go.
Yep.
Okay.
So over there, I also brought a freestanding tub filler that is from Maria Bell. It's more of a modern look, which is also something that people are very trendy and into now, the square look. So that would fill your tub, and it also has a hand shower, which again we mentioned is great for cleaning the tub area.
Oh, that's great.
So traditionally you might have seen those tub fillers that look like it has like a telephone almost that you could pick up and talk to. That's the same system. It's just a much different design for people who want a different look.
Okay. All right. And now one thing Ed and I wanted to ask you specifically about is steam showers, because we really don't know exactly how that functions. Could you explain that?
Steam showers are, again, with that spa-like feel that people want. There's a lot of aspects involved in steam showers. You know, when sizing them, we should know, you know, what size the shower is going to be able to size it correctly. Also, I would have to know what material you're using, because different materials like granite or marble absorb steam differently. So that is also something to consider if you are considering doing a steam shower in your shower area.
So does the steam just come out of a nozzle and steam up the shower? Is that the idea of it? I've not been in one.
Yeah, we actually have a working display in our Hartford showroom, and it's like we have a programmable little thermostat piece, if you will, and you would turn it on there, and there's like a nozzle at the bottom of the shower area, and it creates steam, and you can also add like scents to
Like
make it
essential
even,
oils.
right, to make it feel even more like a spa
Aromatherapy.
time. Correct, like a spa feel.
Ah.
People are going towards this movement of the bathroom is the first and last place or first and last space that they use in the day. And so you might spend, I wouldn't, but somebody might spend like $500 on a pair of shoes and wear them a couple times. So why not really invest in the space that you're not going to use a couple times, you're going to use multiple times a day. Have that spa feeling so that in the beginning of the day or when you're decompressing at the end of the day, you can have a steam, or you can wash your hands in a faucet that reminds you of, I don't know, the Taj Mahal or something amazing. It's that I don't want to go to the spa twice a year and have that feeling. I want to have it every day in your own home.
I like that.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I love being able to go into my bathroom and saying like, my peaceful space.
Yeah.
Well, the next thing on our list is toilets. So there's some new stuff happening in toilets, and so what's up with toilets these days?
A lot of people I'm finding is that they are doing bidet toilets, which is instead of having what back then is what they would have is a toilet and a separate bidet, but now they're combining the two together and they're just doing a bidet seat, which pretty much cleans you and washes you. So it eliminates having toilet paper or anything like that, because you just need a washcloth after that. So that's really what's trendy now, is having a bidet seat in your on your toilet.
Now, what about the toilets that you wave your hand over to flush it? How does that work?
Yeah, that is a touchless kit that Kohler came out with, and it retrofits, or they come with the system already built into it, into almost any toilet. So you basically just wave your hand over it and it would flush, and it's no electrical is required for it. It's just battery operated.
This is a fun thing to YouTube. If you go on YouTube and search Kohler touchless flush, a mom went totally viral because she told her young kids that it was the magic toilet, and if they wanted to use the magic toilet, they needed to become potty trained. And so she potty trained them by using the magic toilet, and if they went to the bathroom, they could flush on their own by doing the magic trick and waving over it. And it's pretty cool, and it's also really sanitary. You're not touching the flusher, and did the person before you wash their hands? Are you going to wash your hands? It's just totally sanitary.
You know, what brings, we're just talking about the flushless, but the other thing is when I was in your showroom, I mean, it's very impressive, and there was just, it seemed like an endless selection of things to look at. We've been describing kind of the high end, but if I were in my do-it-yourself and decided that I wanted to just replace a toilet, and would I be able to come in and buy I think $200 toilet in Bender? Or would I be able to go in there and find a selection, not just for the $700 ones?
Yeah. Well, we have a wide variety of different brands at different price points. So to answer your question, yes, it's a common misconception that people think that we're really expensive because everything looks so pretty, and they're kind of scared to come into the showroom because they feel intimidated. But we have something for everyone in every different price point. I mean, we really try to be competitive, so that $200 toilet that you want, you can get, and it's going to look really nice.
And which brings me to, I was in a big box store and I walked down the plumbing aisle and I saw all these faucets, and I was thinking, wow, there's an incredible selection here. And after I walked up and down it a few times, and then you narrow out which ones obviously you don't want, and the selection seemed much smaller. When I walked into your showroom, it looked like I could spend all day looking for a sink,
Yeah.
which would very impressed me. And the fact that it's somewhere where a do-it-yourselfer like me might be able to go in and afford to shop, that's good to know.
Absolutely.
It's like a candy store in there.
Yeah, you could spend hours in there.
It's a blessing and a curse because you think you find something you like, and then you're like, oh, but I really like that one too. But
It's kind of like phones too. Like you get a phone, and then next
next
thing you
one
know, the
comes
next
out.
one comes out.
Yep.
That's how it is, at Bender, because we're always every 6 months we kind of change out our displays
Yep.
to show what's trendy or what's new or what
New
the manufacturers.
technologies.
Correct.
Yep.
So that's what's great about us.
So I think the next one on our list is vessel sinks and pedestal sinks. And I asked you when I was in your showroom what was your favorite one, and your eyes brightened up and we went instantly.
Yeah,
right to this.
instantly to it. Yeah, I really love vessels. I think they're really beautiful. Kohler has some nice handcrafted vessels that are just beautiful, and so I really think those are nice showpieces, like if you were going to put it in a powder room to show everyone. My favorite is the Kohler one. It's called the Daring, and it's just exquisite. It's really beautiful. So they are starting to come back now, because for a while we weren't doing a lot with vessels, at least in Hartford, but now I find that people are asking more and more about them.
Yep, I would say that the areas of the state like Hartford and New Haven that have some older homes surrounding them, people are ripping out those bathrooms from the 20s and saying, how can I now add my style? And vessel sinks seem to be popping up in them.
And now they could be mounted on top, or you could have them sitting inside of the vanity, right?
So almost think of it just like this small tub. This is an example of the tub, but if this was sink shaped, you could imagine it sitting right on the surface. And just like with the tub filler, the faucet can come out of the wall or from behind. And it sits right on top of the surface, or it can be set down into it a little bit. And like what Crystal was saying, Kohler has some handmade ones. This is incredible. Kohler invites artists from around the world to just have access to all of their materials and come up with something amazing. And they cast out of blown glass vessel sinks. They, the one Crystal loves, I believe it's a ceramic, correct?
Correct.
So handmade ceramic vessel sinks. I mean, you're getting one-of-a-kind pieces. It's amazing.
Now, you just brought up Kohler, and you told us something very interesting that I had never known about. Ed, you might have known about it.
Just not the hotel part.
Oh, okay. Can you tell us about Kohler and what's going on in Wisconsin and what they have?
So I had a sip of the Kohler Kool-Aid and I'm in. I love it. So Kohler is a town. It's a family, first off. David Kohler is the owner of Kohler, and it's an average American family. Well, they're not average. They're amazing. They have a town called Kohler, Wisconsin, outside of Sheboygan, and they have their factories there in the Kohler Village, and that's where they make a majority of the Kohler products. And there's a hotel, a beautiful hotel called the American Club, and it's where they originally had their immigrant workers staying when they would have people come in for like busier seasons and where they needed help in factories. And now it is probably the most beautiful hotel I've ever been to in my life. And Bender team members every once a year or so, a select few get to go, and we're very competitive about that. We really like to try and get out to Kohler to learn about the products and go on a factory tour. And I didn't realize this until I went, but people are just on vacation there. It's so beautiful. People will just go to the American Club in the village of Kohler, Wisconsin to experience it. It's amazing.
So you could try out all the different shower heads and things like that there?
Yeah, so the factory itself isn't open to the public. It's open to people like Crystal who are learning about the products and selling the products. But if you are a person who wants to go on vacation there, you can go to the spa and use all the different types of tubs and fixtures that they have, and the bathrooms throughout the hotel are incredibly unique and amazing. My Instagram started booming after I went to Kohler.
Wow.
Wow, that's really cool.
But now, in addition to Kohler, what other manufacturers do you deal with?
You're going to take this one?
Yep.
You know them.
We carry California faucets, Ria Bell, Moen, Delta, Brizo, just a lot of different brands and for different purposes. Kitchen cabinets. I'm only going to name some because I'm not too familiar with the kitchen cabinets. But it's Wolf, Decora, Diamond. I know we carry also.
There's a couple, and we just like with plumbing fixtures, we range with kitchen cabinets. So, for example, my cabinet is Fabitwood, which is an import. And it's a beautiful cabinet. It is all wood, dovetail construction, slow close, so that's great. But it's more attainable. Then there's things like Plain and Fancy, which is a semi to custom cabinet where all of your doors are inset, so it's more like a furniture piece. So anything from your really attainable sort of stock cabinets that we could get you in a day or two to things that the designer comes out, measures the space, works with you, and it takes maybe six to 8 weeks to get because someone is making those cabinets for you. It's a full range of possibilities, just like with the fixtures. Crystal was mentioning California faucets, which is the showering system. Those are handmade systems. So you come in and you pick which fixtures you want, which handle, which head, which handheld head, and then we put in the order and someone in California gets to work on it. So it can take some time.
And it's made in the United States.
Made in the USA.
Same with Kohler.
Same with Kohler.
Nice. Now, we spoke about countertops when we met with you for a pre-show interview, and you girls both have ideas about what you think is the best. So could you share that?
What I think is the best is quartz is what a lot of people are doing in their bathroom and in their kitchen. It's really, you don't have to put in as much maintenance as you do with like a natural stone like granite or marble. It's not porous, so it won't stain. You don't have to seal it every year like you do with granite and marble, so it's a lot less maintenance, but it can range to about the same price because convenience is usually always more.
Yeah. And I have to say, Crystal's right. So like if you have kids or you have a lifestyle that doesn't lend towards like being pristine, which is like the majority of us, right? Then quartz is the way to go because it's impenetrable. But if you're staring at beautiful images of kitchens and bathrooms all day, which my job forces me to do, which is not so terrible, you fall in love with marble.
Okay.
And I love marble. And Connecticut is sort of a marble state. The most popular kitchen combination and bathroom combination in Connecticut is a white cabinet with a white marble, like a Carrara marble. So I fell in love and couldn't help myself and had to have marble countertops for my kitchen. And what I learned was, yes, they stain, and my salesperson was right, and I was wrong to think that I wasn't going to stain them. But it's okay. The stains generally present themselves in a gray or brown tone, which is the natural veining of marble anyway. So I know that it's a spaghetti sauce stain, but my guests don't know. So once I get over that like emotional, like, I stained my countertop, then I get over it and I move on. So it's finding that balance. How do you live in your space? What are your priorities?
But are you happy as a clam with your choice?
I could not be happier. When I have children, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm super happy.
Okay.
Well, for me, I'm totally into quartz.
Me
If I were going to be replaced,
Me too. I'm a mess.
There's no doubt about it that I would have that, so that's good. We had one other thing on the list, and I don't even have, but medicine cabinets. Is there something cool in medicine cabinets?
Yeah.
Wow.
When people think of medicine cabinets, they just think of a cabinet either recessed or surface mounted into the wall. But medicine cabinets have come a long way, long way.
Well, I'm glad I
They
asked.
have like TVs in the medicine cabinets, LED lights on the medicine cabinets. You name it, electrical in the cabinets, you name it, they have it. Lock boxes for like medicines. If you have medicines and you have kids and you don't want them to get into it, you can lock it, and there's a key for it. They've come a long way, and they're beautiful. We carry Roburn and Kohler medicine cabinets as well, but the Roburn ones are quite exquisite, and those are the ones with like the TVs and LED lights.
Are
in
they
them.
bigger?
They come in a lot of different sizes. Really tiny 16-inch medicine cabinets, or like really big, or you can put medicine cabinets together and gang them together if you wanted.
And it all comes back to functionality. One of the things that I love about working with our designers and our bath salespeople and our kitchen salespeople, and what I hear frequently in reviews, is that we ask our clients, how do you use your space?
Correct.
And so it's an experience for the consumer. If you want a TV in your medicine cabinet, great. If you just need good lighting because you're putting on makeup, then that's what you'll get.
Okay.
We have one.
I just want to quickly touch on the experience we had with the client when we were picking out all these things. You were just so great. You were knowledgeable. You made the whole experience fun. It was just fantastic, and the client is just so happy.
Thank you.
And I just want to tell you again, thank you for that, because it was terrific.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
Crystal.
So, are there any things that you would like to share with the audience as far as knowledge for someone who's going out there? And
I think it's really like pictures are really helpful to bring. We'd like to know what kind of style it is that you like, so that we can help you create your dream bathroom, if you will, at any price point. And really, don't be afraid to come into our showroom, because we're not the most expensive. We don't have to be. We can be, but we don't have to be. So don't feel intimidated to come in, and it's a good time to do your bathroom with us.
Yeah, we recognize that most people do their bathroom or their kitchen once, twice in their life. We know that the questions you have need to be answered, and we recognize that it can be scary, financially, a big leap, and we want to help you. It's awesome. We kind of feel like honored to be able to impact those spaces in your life, the kitchen being central, the bathroom, the first and last place you use. It's really cool. We want to help you.
I like how you say that, the first thing you use and the last, and the fact that your best advice is to bring photos. I think that's pictures. I think that's...
Well, you made it so non-intimidating, so that was great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we want to thank you again, and thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you watching the show, and we'll see you next time.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.